Ever wondered why your renovation plans never go as smooth as you'd hoped? Here's the secret to a seamless process.
For the client, and then I send it to them and say, is there anything I'm missing, anything additional that you want to add or take away or whatever? And then we drill into the numbers. Sometimes, like I said, I work with electricians and plumbers, so they'll give me their part of the scope of work. And then also the client can decide, do they want to source their own materials and handle shipping and delivery and all of that, or do they want me to do it? So we're very customizable as far as the level of service and support that they want to receive and how involved they want to be in the project. So that's kind of how we work through the beginning. And then, we go into permitting if needed and go through that whole process. And once we start, that's it. I kind of take over from there. And like I said, I communicate with them on a regular basis and give them updates on everything and, just kind of walk them through the process. So.
Very good. Very good. Now let's dive a little bit when it comes to mindset for entrepreneurs. What would you say the one piece of advice you received from a mentor that have helped shape you to who you are today?
I love that question. And honestly, it's interesting because when I was working in corporate America for so long, I never knew when I would get to this point. But now that I'm sitting in this seat and I look back at all the little things I learned that I was able to take with me to be a successful entrepreneur, I would say the one thing I learned was in one of my sales jobs. And my manager used to say, is that revenue generating activity? Because if not, it should be done after hours. So probably the biggest thing is you'll see me, I don't do proposals or any of that stuff, during the day. The only thing I do during working hours is process payroll if I haven't done it the night before. But I think the most essential thing is delegating your own time and being very strict with your time management as an entrepreneur and making sure that during, normal business hours or whatever, that you're like dictating what you're doing at the proper time so that you're not wasting time when you could be out networking or at a networking event or meeting with clients, that you're not, for me anyway, in my industry, that's the way it works out really well for me. So I do all that non-revenue generating stuff after hours or first thing in the morning before I leave.
As a business owner, do you find it hard to delegate sometimes? Because that's one of the biggest hindrance for business owners or entrepreneurs. They think that they are the only one that can do it. Therefore, it's hard for them to delegate. Do you
Yes.
have you found that in your practice or in your business that
it's a challenge? It's a challenge. It is definitely a challenge letting go. And delegating and kind of outsourcing some things. So that's something I'm still trying to work on, but it's difficult to find the fine line. Like it's the same concept of like, do I do it myself or do I hire a professional? It's the same thing, that DIY concept. When you're running a business, you have to get to a point where you have to start offloading some of it so that you can continue to build your business and not, spend all your time doing things that aren't going to help you build your business. So yeah, that's a challenge for me. I'm still working on it.
Gotcha. Now, let's talk about success. What does success means to you?
Oh my gosh. Success to me is happiness. Happiness, feeling pride in what you do on a daily basis and feeling good about it and being able to have work-life balance. My husband and I have 3 kids. They are growing up very fast right before our eyes. So success to me is being able to work hard during the day and then spend quality time with our kids on the off hours and weekends and holidays.
How do you keep going every day? I mean, anything that you use on a daily basis as far as motivation that you keep feeding on to, get out there and go get after it?
I mean, loving what you do is a huge part of it, but my kids are my motivation and my husband. I mean, we are a very tight family unit. Everything that I do is for them. So they're my motivation. Honestly, that's it. I just do it because I love them and I want them to have a good life. And I also think it's super important. It's interesting for my kids to see that you can do something that you love and be successful at it. So I'm also trying to just lead by example for them and show them like you can be a mom and you can be a business owner and, be a room mom at school. This morning I volunteered for my son's play. Like I want to be that example for them. So it just motivates me to be my best self every day. Like I'm just very lucky that way. So
it's awesome.
It's all working out. It's all working out.
That's awesome.
Most days. Yeah. Some days it's a bit of a chaotic show, but nobody's perfect.
I bet. Yeah. We're all humans. That's what makes us human, right?
That's it. And it's okay to make mistakes and to fall down and all of that. You just have to figure out what you can do differently and carry on,
Yeah. Now, if you could go back at the beginning of your career. Beginning, I mean, your company hasn't been in business for that long, but your career in general as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, if you
Hmm.
could go back, what would be, if anything, that you would change?
I don't know. I really don't know if there's anything I would change, Schubert. I don't think I would. Maybe do it sooner. Just like people say when they renovate their houses, I wish I had done this sooner. I kind of wish I
Right.
had done it sooner. I really do. That would probably be the one thing I would change. But, I feel like it just had to be so apparent that I needed to make the change that I had no hesitation. That's kind of my personality. So, but, looking back, I know if I had done it sooner, I still probably would have carried the same. But anyway, that would probably be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything, any big projects for your company coming up in 2025? How do you feel about 2025 for your business?
I'm very excited for 2025. We have some good projects on the table right now that we're doing proposals for. I can't seem to get away from condo work, so I'm trying to embrace it because a lot of contractors, it's a lot. There's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, a lot of things, stipulations and stuff, especially depending on the municipality.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how to make that work for us because I really enjoy working in condos. I don't mind it at all, and so that's what we've kind of got coming up. So.
What part of the state do you guys cover? Do you guys mostly South Florida? Can you give us a little scope as far as how far do you guys go?
Northern Palm Beach County is kind of where we're at right now. To be perfectly honest with you, there's so much work. I mean, we live in an area where there's a lot of new construction, but there's a lot of houses in this area that are older that need to be updated. So, quite honestly, just by word of mouth and referrals, we really don't go too terribly far south. I mean, I think the furthest south that I've gone is Palm Beach Island and then north up to like Jupiter, Florida. So I try not to go too far south just because when it comes down to it, the efficiency of time spent on the road when you're in construction,
Right.
you know, is a lot. And some of, the specialty trades that I work with, they won't travel down south, so that becomes a little bit of an issue. So
Yeah, I mean,
Northern Palm Beach County.
there's probably no need to go far south because we have so many people moving in,
Hmm.
so many homes
Right.
being built, and so there was already a bunch of homes in Palm Beach County, so
Right. Yeah.
that
So
makes
lucky for
sense.
us, we haven't had to travel very far, but I just feel like there would be a lot of time wasted on the road. And there's so much work to be done in this area that we're very lucky to kind of be able to stay in this spot. So,
Very good, very good. Now, let's talk about networking. You alluded, I mean, you talked about that earlier.
yeah.
I obviously met you at PRE, Professional Referral Exchange. Can
Yep.
you tell us, how's been the experience for you at PRE, and has it been a successful one?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's super important to network. And I mean, that's my background is in sales anyway. And whether I have somebody in my networking group, I met, somebody there immediately that I still continue to partner with. He's been so busy that he actually left the networking group because he became so successful from it. But I think it's also great to be surrounded once a week by other entrepreneurs that feel the same way you do. It's very motivational. And I always feel like every Tuesday when I leave there and I know in the morning, I feel motivated and focused. And so even that probably is the best thing for me.